Hey guys, Dan here. Today we're going to take some national market data and tell you specifically what it means for buyers and sellers here on Cape Cod. National economists are expecting a meaningful housing recovery in 2026, and some of those signs are already appearing today. Mortgage trends are trending higher, which is a good sign. Job gains have remained steady, and home builders are starting to add more inventory. Here on the Cape, the home builders, that can only do so much because we only have so much land, and it's very hard to permit tract housing. The National Association of Realtors is predicting a 14% increase in home sales. They also expect mortgage rates to drift downwards, so we won't see any major drops. We're not going back to 3 and 4%, but they're thinking that they should average out 6 to low 6s throughout the year. And then we'll see a return to steady home growth. None of this crazy spikes in prices, just a gradual, steady increase over time. We could expect 4 to 5% a year historically. So what does this mean on Cape Cod? National insights give us a context to work from, but we're also seeing that Cape Cod market is behaving in its own unique way. As far as home prices go on Cape Cod, we're expecting a slow but steady growth. The year-over-year increase on average has been 1.94% here on the Cape, which really reflects the demand. There's high demand, and so we continue to see that growth throughout 2026. This reflects long-term demand, even as affordability pressures shape buyer behavior. As far as inventory goes, we've seen a pretty significant jump. Active listings are up 21% year-over-year. For the Cape, where inventory has been historically tight, this represents a meaningful increase. Buyers have more options, but not enough to shift us into a buyer's market. The third major point is days on market. Homes are taking longer to sell. Days on market actually increased 31.11% year over year, rising from 45 days in 2024 to 59 days in 2025. This mirrors a national trend where price reductions have become more common. As properties sit longer, people tend to reduce the price to get it moving. On the Cape, it signals normalization, not a downturn, as the market recalibrates after several hyper-competitive years. While the national market points towards acceleration in 2026, the Cape is experiencing a measured, healthy cooling, just leveling out a bit. We should see modest and sustainable price increases. We should also see a significant increase in the availability of homes for sale. And with longer days on market, it means that sellers will have to get very strategic about their pricing. Even though mortgage rates remain a constraint, NAR expects them to even out somewhere around the 6% mark on average throughout 2026. For Cape Cod buyers, this might mean more affordability as the rates adjust downward slightly. It could also mean increased competition as more people jump back into the buyer pool because of these lower rates. And like we saw on a national level, there's a possibility of a shift into a buyer's market before we see a rebound of the housing market. So for sellers nationwide, the biggest takeaway is for homes that are on the market more than 30 days, you're generally seeing a 6 to 7% price decrease. And homes that have been in the market over 90 days very often require at least a 10% price reduction. On Cape Cod, longer days on market means you need to get it right out of the gate with your pricing. On a national level, the National Association of Realtors is expecting steady appreciation throughout 2026. And Cape Cod generally tends to trend a little higher due to limited inventory, steady second home demand, and the desirability of the region. If national momentum aligns with the local fundamentals, Cape Cod should see a healthy and competitive market into 2026. If you're thinking of buying now or in 2026, my team and I can help you to understand what these trends mean specifically to your neighborhood and your price point. Send me a message anytime and I'll pull the exact MLS market data for your specific area and your home type. See you next week on Cape Cod Like a Local.